Let's check. Snow day tomorrow?
I heard that. I didn't know about it.
Storm coming tonight.
Really?
If there is, we're gonna have math class at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Snow day. If here, we're coming in. Just
Rain, shine.
we'll come pick you up. I'll come pick you up in my tracks.
She'll
It can
probably
fit,
actually show up.
It can fit. It's gotta be the small people. I get more in. It's a small car. Bailey, Alexis, not Stretch. Yeah, that's especially for somebody who's tall. All right. Let's see how we did on these. What's my first step here? 2 times what, guys? Whoa. Settle down. So what do we got? Yeah, make sure it's negative 36. Adds to what? Negative 5. So one has to get a negative number, one has to be negative, one has to be positive. So the bigger number has to be negative here because they add up to negative 5, right? So what are some factors of 36? So this is multiply, add. What do we got? 6 and 6?
Negative 6 times 6.
What's negative 6 plus 6? 0. So that's not it. Negative 4. Oh, negative 9 and 4. What's negative 9 plus 4? Negative 5. Is that what we want?
Yes.
There's my 2 numbers I need. Okay? I want to replace them right here, guys. Now, watch. I'm going to put the 4 with the 2 because they factor. And it just so happens, too, the 9 and the 18 will factor. So that's what I want to do. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to write it 2k squared plus 4k minus 9k minus 18. I think it's just now, you don't have to. I just think it factors easier. Okay, factor these two. Go. You factor them, see what you get real quick. We're not going to go over the homework, so this is kind of a review of what we been doing. I think today's work's a lot easier. We're still doing the same thing. We're going to review tomorrow and Monday. We're going to have a quiz over this Tuesday. That's the game plan, Mary. Say, Mary was sad yesterday when you weren't here. She was sad.
I'm sure.
She wept. Makana held her for 10 minutes.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Luca tried to intervene, but Makana didn't want to have anything to do with that.
Luca was kind of floored by the whole situation.
He was almost second floored by the whole situation. That's funny. I don't care who you are. Funny. Jonathan, wipe that smile on your face. It's math. Okay, what can I take out of 2k squared and 4k, Jonathan?
2k.
So let's take her out. What do you got?
K plus 2.
Okay, I like it. Now, what about the second two, Luca?
Negative 9.
The second two.
What's left, Luca?
2k plus
Eh,
k minus 9.
eh,
K minus 9.
we're dividing. So k plus 2. And that's what it should be, right? So my final answer is k plus 200, 2k minus 9. Now, the next one is what we learned yesterday. We can't have a negative leading coefficient. So what do I take out of, guys? How can I make -3 +3? Take out of what? So I want to take out a -1 out of everything. And when I do, it just changes the sign, right, of everything, okay? So it's going to be this. Whoops. Okay? Yes, sir.
Take out.
A -1. Okay? Just changes everything. Now, once we do that, -1 is going to be part of my answer. I can't forget that to bring it down. But then we just do what we've been doing. We do what we just did here. I'm just going to erase this, guys, and write my work over here. Okay, so I'm going to go 3 times 6, which in the United States is 18. What do they add to? Careful. What the? -11, not negative. Okay, so multiply, add, right? Okay. So both signs are the same, and they're both going to be what? Good, negative. Okay, so 1 times 18, -1. What do they add up to? What do those add up to? Is that my answer? No, not. What's the next? Going up from 1, what's the next one?
-9, -2.
What do they add up to?
-1.
Winner. Now, again, what am I going to put first with the 3? The what? I'm going to put the 9. You don't have to, but again, you get the same answer. I just think it's easier, so I'm going to write it like this. -9t. The other one is -2t plus 6. Okay, we can't forget about that. That's why I did that. We can forget about it right now, though, okay? All right, factor, guys. Factor. What am I taking out of the first two, Logan? 3t. How about the next two?
2.
I would take a -2 out. Okay, you guys factor. See what you get. Yes. Makana, what's left with the first group?
2 - 3.
I think I just heard a sneeze.
Plus
That-
2.
Is that Bailey?
Oh.
It's like a little stuffed animal sneeze.
Sneeze.
Huh? Oh, I've seen stuffed animals sneeze. Mary, what's left in the second one? Okay, -2. What's left?
T.
And they're the same. Liv, what's your answer?
2 - 3, and then 3t - 2.
How many agree with this? Oh, I don't. What do we have to bring down? Everybody say it. Yeah, guys, don't forget that. You can write -1 all the way down in parentheses so you don't forget it. I just draw the arrow. Why is that arrow coming down? Oh, yeah, bring down your -1. Don't forget that. Please. And thank you.
I was gonna wait space. I'm not doing this.
Mary has a question.
I have a pair.
What?
She's busy on the end and you just.
I didn't see it. Mary, what's up?
What's today?
Mary, seriously, you have a question on something we did? You sure? Do you have a question?
I'll take it.
Have you been to Fort Myers Beach?
I don't know, but my dad plays baseball there.
Really? Who's he play for?
I don't know. It changes every year because I mean they use other teams' names. So he played like the Cubs 1 year and then the Indians the other year. It's like the league that he plays in.
Nice.
Yeah, MLB.
They have a major league winter spring training facility down there. It's really
Winter
nice.
Haven?
No, in Fort Myers. It's very, very nice. Do you guys have these? Do you guys have these?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, to show you what we're going to do today, it's better to start out with what we know how to do. Okay? Guys, let's FOIL this. Okay? Let's go x times x, x times 4, negative 4 times x. Okay? Let's see what we get. Let's see. What's x times x? X squared. What's x times 4? Careful. Tell me. Thank you. Tell me the sign. It's very important today. What's next? And then, what happens to my middle terms? They what? Don't put 0x and drive me to drinking warm Dr. Pepper. Guys, this is our answer. Right here. Okay? Now, what the heck? Here's what we're going to start with today. Okay? And we're going to go back to what we started with on top. It's called a difference of squares. I think it's very easy. What can I multiply times itself that gives me x squared? Wouldn't it be x and x? Does everybody agree? What multiplies together, which is the same thing? In other words, what's the square root of 16? Does everybody agree it's 4? Now, it's negative, right? So what do my signs have to be? 1 and 1. Now, does it matter? Can I write negative 4 first? Absolutely. Guys, that's it. That's it. If you have the same term multiplied by the same term with different signs, the middle terms cancel out. The middle terms cancel out. Let's do one more. Okay? Okay, let's FOIL it. What's 5x times 5x? 25x squared. Whoops. Okay? What's 5x times negative 6? Negative 30x. What's 6 times 5x? Plus 30x. 6 times negative 6? Negative 36. You guys see here again, my middle terms cancel out. I'm left with this. I did it again. Nutcracker sweet. I'm losing my mind. I can't think right now. Somebody help me. Thank you. So we're left with this, guys. Okay. This has to be a minus sign in the middle there. Okay? That's a difference of squares. In other words, this is a perfect square. This is a perfect square. Okay, now, so how do I go from here? Let's say we didn't see this up top. What's the square root of 25? X squared would be 5x, right? So 5x. What's the square root of 36? One has to be negative, one has to be positive. Done. It's called the difference of squared dids. Is there even a problem here? Okay. Okay. What do you guys think? Are these perfect squares? Do I have a subtraction sign in the middle? Yep. So Alexis, what's the square root of x squared? Okay. What's the square root of 49? And again, it doesn't matter if you put the plus or minus, whatever turns your wheels. But make sure they're not minus, minus, or plus, plus. Different signs. Pretty easy, right? Easy, 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 especially compared to what we've been doing. You guys try this one. Oh, my Lanta. You done? You're like a wizard.
Sure.
Wizard.
I get it from Corbin.
Corbin is a little wizard. Sabrina, how are you? Can you tell us what you have?
I have 3x minus 8, 3x.
How many agree with Sabrina? Square root of 9 is 3. X squared, square root x, 3x, 3x is 9x squared. Yeah, that's right, guys. That's right. Don't I have the same terms, 1 minus, 1 plus? So if I FOILed it, my middle terms would cancel out. What would that be? It'd be plus 24x and minus 24x. They'd cancel out. Yo, yo? Yo, mama? Yo, yo, mama?
You know who that is?
Who is that?
Famous cellist.
Who?
A famous cello player.
I'm not.
He's in Seinfeld. That's like why he became really popular. Like,
Is it
remember
legit?
Kramer had like Tourette's or something. Yo yo mom. Remember that episode?
I don't remember that. And I thought I've seen
And I
it.
actually think Yo Yo Ma came from like his own episode.
That's funny. Yo, yo, mom. Yo, yo, mom. You guys try C and D. Go. Oh my gosh, it's a 1. See if that's going to throw you guys for a loop-de-loop. Getting here at school day and some kids are pulling off in the buses.
Oh yeah? You look excited?
The ones I saw had a little giddy up in their stuff. Yeah. That's a bummer you guys don't go to New York.
Wow.
They're not going. Everything's shut down in New York. Shows and stuff.
I guess it was John Pontiac.
All right. Hey guys, don't let the 1 throw you off. What times itself equals 1? It's 1, right? I know you look at it and you think, oh my gosh, wait a minute. It can't be, yeah, wait a minute. Oh yeah. Whoa. That's a very aggressive knock.
That was a nasty knock.
Wasn't the goats? Oh, so what's today?
Okay, first of all, Jill was scared
Oh, good.
that you knocked so loud. Dorian wept.
Dude. Gosh. Trying to figure that out.
What, the goats?
Didn't see
A
him.
lot of work with the goats?
No, my dad, so someone's couldn't do our one of the individual horses to cruise. So my dad just won't know what they want right now.
Are they small horseshoes?
What's that person called that does that?
Blacksmith?
I'm not sure.
I don't know what they call it.
Cleans the horses. Cleans your horses.
Oh, pedicures?
Cooper.
That's funny. Thank you. A what? Hoover.
A cobbler does shoes.
Hoof cobbler.
The Hoover.
Cobbler Hoover.
That's a special name, right?
I don't know.
It's like
Okay. Guys, square root of 4 is 2. Square root of z squared is z. So it's going to be what? 2z, not jz, 2z. Okay? Then what? What am I going to write? Plus 1, minus 1. You could have wrote minus 1 plus 1. That one's done. Nah. What do you think, Dorian? Think you got it? Go.
4A plus 9. And 4A minus 1.
Easy. Peasy. Lemon. Okay.
The opposite of easy peasy lemon squeezy is stress depressed lemon zest. I learned that like 2 days ago.
Whoa. Mary, what's just happened? Say that again.
Stress depressed lemon zest. It's the opposite of easy peasy.
Stressed, depressed.
That's a lot of.
What was the last one? Lemon zest.
Or lime zest if you really want to switch it up.
Or just say it was hard.
Okay. Guys, let's do 2. I don't want to do both these. Let's do this one. Now remember that that means this. Don't go 9x squared plus 25 on me. That's that. We got to foil that. We got to foil. Bless you. It's better, Bailey. That's it. Let it out. Let it go. Somebody give her a quarter of a tissue. Be huge for her. Give her a little piece. There you go. That's full size for Bailey.
It's way too big.
I heard.
Yeah. If you're gonna stew in there. Awesome. Okay, guys. What's 3x times 3x? 9x squared. Then what? 15x plus 15x plus 15x plus what? 25. What's it simplified to? Okay, now. I want you to look at the difference. Oh, that should be plus 25. I'm sorry. Look at the difference between who's starting here. It's not a minus sign there. The middle terms are okay. The middle terms are not going to cancel out, or even if it's plus or minus. So it's not a difference of squares if we get going here. Plus 5 is not a perfect square. All right. So anyway, but there's a pattern here. There's a pattern here. That's a perfect square, and that's a perfect square. Even though we have a middle term, guys, 9 times 25 is what? Isn't that what? Somebody tell me. 225? Right? And then we're going to multiply 225, add the 30. It's going to be a pain in the butt. If the first term is a perfect square and the second term is a perfect square, we can kind of do the same thing that we did. This would just follow along with me. What's the square root of 9x squared? Does everybody agree it's this? Right? Does everybody agree 3x times 3x is 9x squared? That's that. What's the square root of 25? What's 5 times 5? The only thing we have to check is what? We'd have to check to see if they in the middle terms add up to 30. And that they would. Okay, so if we got a perfect square here and here, we can do the same process, but the signs will be the same, either 2 pluses or 2 negatives. Okay, and we can check it.
The one thing you guys need to be really careful of when you do these is that you don't just that you actually FOIL it out. One of the biggest mistakes we see in math is they'll write this. They'll distribute the square. Do you see why a student might do that? I'll just square 3x and I'll square 5 and add them together. That's wrong. What's that going to miss out on? What part of FOIL is that going to miss out on? Well, I'll get the 5 times 5. I'll get the 3x times the 3x. I won't get the 3x times 5, and I won't get the 5 times 3x. I'll miss the O and the I in FOIL. Do you agree that is not correct? So if a student says, oh, x squared plus 49, what did they forget to do? They just did x squared plus 49. What did they forget to do? Wait, yeah, multiply the middle terms, right? Okay, you have to FOIL these out. They haven't done this one right yet, have they?
They have not.
Go for it. Evan, help me out. When you multiply the first terms, x times x, what'd you get? Good. And then the outer terms, x times 7. Good. And then the inner terms, 7 times x. Good. And the last term, 7 times 7. Good. And the only terms that are going to combine are the 7x plus 7x, and they make. Good. Should have gotten that. Okay. Should have gotten that. Makes sense? All right. So, what next slide is trying to get you to see, this is a special case. You guys all listening? Special case. Don't look for this to happen all the time. Do you see this came from Mr. Parker was getting you guys to see? Didn't that come from the first term squared? Did this come from the last term squared? But I said be careful. You don't want to miss the O and the I. And if these are the same, let's make a rule. If I have x plus 5 times x plus 5, or x plus 8 times x plus 8, or x plus 7 times x plus 7, let's make a rule. How do I get the middle term? Zachary?
You add the second term.
You double the 7x, because look, 7x. If it were 5x, 5x. 8x, 8x. Don't you double that, right? I get 14x. Or I would get 16x. Or I get 10x.
But for the other one, we would do 5 plus 5, you would get 10. I mean 10. You need 15.
Which other one are you talking about?
The one at the end.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it. Ready? Didn't this come? Oops. All right, where'd the 9x squared come from? Squaring 3x. Yes?
Yeah.
Squaring 3x. Where'd the 25 come from?
Times 5.
The 5 squared. Let's test it. What happens when you multiply 3x and 5? 15x. And we have to double it because it gets O and I. The O and the I in FOIL, it gets multiplied twice. So 15x, double it, 30x. Why? Look. O, 15x. Sorry, inner. And the outer, 15x. It doubles it. We have it twice. Okay? So this next slide, it's kind of abstract, but it's saying if you square a binomial and multiply it times itself, you get the first term squared, you get the last term squared, and you multiply them together and double it. Special case. Not going to happen all the time. When does it happen? When you square a binomial, multiply an expression times itself. All right? What about the difference of them? What if it was x minus 7 squared? Oh, look. Multiply them together, double it, and it's going to be negative, right? If they're both subtraction, because you're going to subtract. You're going to have a negative I and a negative O. Add it twice, have a negative, right? Double it and make it negative. And this is just an example showing you what happens here, or how to use that rule. All right, let's. What were the directions here? Oh, I skipped something. There we go. All right, we're going to factor this. So where did this come from? And I'm not going to do the long, drawn-out multiply and add special numbers because this is a special case. Do you recognize it? It's a binomial squared. Well, do we agree? The first terms must have been x and x. Yes? Now, could I go through the whole multiply to what? Well, a is 1, so multiply to 16, add to. I could do that. What numbers multiply to 16 and add to 8? 4 and 4. Oh, look. It's the same number. What's going to go in here? X plus 4, x plus 4. What's another way to write that? X plus 4 quantity squared. Let's see if that passes our rule. Isn't this x squared, the first term x squared? Isn't the last term 4 squared? And isn't the middle term 4 times x doubled? See how it's a special case? All right, you could just go straight to x plus 4 squared if you recognize that. All right, letter B. Let's try that. Let's see if we can do it that way. And if not, we'll do it the long way. All right? What's the square root of 4x squared? 2x there, 2x there. What's the square root of 9? 3. I could also square negative 3 and get 9, right? And look at the middle term. Is that 2x times negative 3 doubled? What's 2x times negative 3? Negative 6x. Doubled? Negative 12x. So what goes here and here? Minus 3 and minus 3. Yes? Yes? Awesome. Now, you could check it. But it's going to work out. We have 2x minus 3 quantity squared. Now, here's what you should start to be able to do. We've done this enough Everyone should be able to do this in their head. A quick check. I don't want you to foil this all out, but look up here. Can everyone do 2x times 2x in their head? 4x squared. Awesome. I'm not going to do the O and the I yet. I'm going to go straight to the L. What's negative 3 times negative 3? 9. This is good. This is good. Let's do the O and the I in our head. What's the O multiplied to? Negative 6x. What is the I multiplied to? Negative 6x. And when we subtract those, we get negative 12x. We just checked this answer by kind of doing it in our head. You should get to that point now where you can kind of check it. You know, you don't want to write it out every single time, but you can kind of check it in your head as you go. Are we getting to that point? We can start to do that? All right. Try this one on your own. Alexis, do you think you have this one? What'd you get for, we know x and x is going to multiply x squared. What'd you get for the numbers? In here, what? And, good. Let's check it. X and x multiply to negative 3 and negative 3 multiply to 9. And when we do the O and the I, negative 3x minus 3x is negative 6x. It's going to work. So Alexis, our final answer is x minus 3 squared. Now, if these are different factors like x minus 3 and x plus 7, obviously you can't write x minus 3 squared. This means you're multiplying the same binomial twice. All right? Last one for today. Hey. Hey. Hi.
You are old enough.
Got it, Brady? A and A. What goes in here? Minus 5? Minus 5? A? 5 squared. Beautiful. Beautiful. Homework for tonight. Page 407. Numbers 1 through 6 and 15 through 20. Mary, 1 through 6, all? What do you think, Mary? Oh, Mary, I'm picking on you. You're mad at me, actually. Just tired. All of 1 through 6, all of 15 through 20. And I hope you all have a great day.